Kiro had never been this close to a human ship before. On his tiny homeworld, ships were simple. Rusting frames, patched engines, and instruments that rarely worked. But this ship was different. Sleek, smooth, almost alive. Kiro's hands trembled as he ran them over the polished hull. It reflected the sun in golden streaks. He could not believe the human had landed here. The humans rarely visited this system. Only once in decades did a human vessel appear near Kiro's planet. And now one stood before him, gleaming in the dust and heat. "My father died in one like this," Kiro whispered softly, almost to himself. The words caught in his throat. His voice was a rustle in the dry wind. He looked at the human pilot, standing beside the ship, calm, tall, and confident. The human smiled. "You like it?" he asked. Kiro nodded but did not speak. The memories rushed back too fast. His father had been an engineer, too. Not just any engineer, but one of the few who dared to build a ship that could leave their dying planet. Kiro had watched him die during the launch. The ship had exploded. Kiro had been too young to understand all of it then, but the grief was etched in his mind forever. He could see it all now. The fire, the smoke, the twisted metal, the screaming. His father had wanted to see the stars. He had wanted to leave the small world behind. And now, this human had built something that looked stronger, faster, better. Something his father could only dream of. I am Kiro," he said finally, his voice shaky. "I work on engines. I try to fix what others break. But I have never seen one like this." The human extended his hand. "I am Jaren. You want to see it?" Kiro's eyes widened. The human was offering him the ship. A simple invitation, but it felt like an impossible dream. He nodded slowly. Jaren stepped aside, gesturing to the open ramp. The interior was just as amazing. Panels glowed softly with blue light. Buttons and levers were sleek and smooth. There were screens showing star maps he had only seen in books. Kiro's fingers itched to touch everything, to understand how it all worked. "Your father," Jaren said softly, as if sensing Kiro's thoughts. "You said he died in one like this." Kiro nodded again. "Yes, he built engines for our ships. He wanted to make them better, stronger, faster. He wanted to take us beyond the planet. And I watched him die when the engines failed." His voice trembled. "I promised myself I would never forget. I would never fail like he did. But I have failed every day since." Jaren nodded, understanding in his eyes. "I think he would be proud of you. You survived. You built something of your own. You are still trying. That counts." Kiro looked around the human ship. He could almost see his father standing there, hands on the engine panels, shouting calculations, sweating, fighting to save the ship. And yet here was Jaren, calm, confident, standing in a ship that worked perfectly. "I don't deserve to touch this," Kiro whispered. "Maybe not yet," Jaren said. "But you can help me. I need an engineer. I need someone who understands engines like you do. Together, we can make this ship even better. You will learn. You will not fail. I promise." Kiro's heart pounded. Could this be real? A human trusting him, offering him a chance to touch the stars. His hands shook as he approached the control panel. He ran his fingers over the buttons. Nothing sparked. Nothing broke. Everything worked perfectly. He turned to Jaren. "You really trust me?" Jaren smiled. I do. I saw how you looked at the ship. You are curious, careful, honest. That is more than enough for me. Kiro swallowed hard. I can't believe this. I never thought anyone would give me a chance like this. You have it, Jaren said simply. Come on, let me show you something. Jaren led him to the engine room. Kiro's eyes widened. The engines were glowing softly, humming with energy. He had never seen anything like it. The metal panels were polished perfectly. Every pipe, every wire, every bolt was in its place. The power core glowed like a heart. Kiro stepped closer. He could feel the vibration under his feet. He reached out to touch it. The energy surged slightly, warm, alive. It spoke to him in a way he had never felt before. This is incredible, Kiro whispered. I have never felt an engine like this. It is alive. Jaren nodded. It is. I designed it to be stable, safe, and fast, but it is not perfect. That is where you come in. I need someone who understands engines from the inside out, someone who can see the soul of a machine. That is you, Kiro. Kiro's eyes filled with tears. He had spent his life fixing broken machines. His hands had healed what others had ruined, but he had never dreamed of working on something like this. Something alive. Something that could take him beyond the stars. I don't know if I can do it, Kiro whispered. I am not as good as you think. I will fail. You will not fail, Jaren said. Not if you try. Not if you care. That is the difference between you and my other engineers. You care. You feel it. You understand it. That is what makes you perfect for this. Kiro swallowed hard. He looked at the engine again. It was glowing softly, warm, alive. And now it felt like a chance. A second chance. A chance to honor his father. A chance to do something he never thought he could. I will try, Kiro said finally. I will help. I will learn. Jaren smiled. Good, then let's get started. They spent hours in the engine room. Kiro studied every wire, every pipe, every bolt. Jaren explained the systems. Kiro listened, asked questions, touched the engine, felt it hum under his fingers. For the first time, he felt alive. For the first time, he felt hope. Your father would be proud, Jaren said quietly. He would see you here, learning, touching, understanding, and he would smile. I promise. Kiro nodded. Tears ran down his face. He had never felt this way before. The grief he had carried all his life was still there. But now it was mixed with something new. Pride, hope, possibility. Days passed. Kiro learned quickly. He understood engines in a way he had never imagined. Jaren trusted him completely. Together they repaired, adjusted, and improved the ship. Kiro added his own touches, small changes that made the engines hum smoother, panels that glowed brighter, pipes that carried energy more efficiently. And all the while, Kiro felt his father with him, standing behind him, smiling, watching, guiding. One day, as they finished their work, Jaren turned to Kiro. Are you ready? Kiro nodded. Yes, I think I am. They climbed to the cockpit. The stars stretched out before them. The ship thrummed under Kiro's hands. Alive, perfect, ready. Let's go, Jaren said. The engines roared. The ship lifted, smooth, fast, powerful. Kiro felt the vibration under his feet. The hum of the engines filled his soul. He looked at the stars. They were endless, beautiful, waiting, and for the first time, Kiro felt free. My father would have loved this, he whispered. He would, Jaren said. And so will you. The ship soared. Kiro's heart raced. He felt the wind of space against him. He felt alive. He felt hope. He felt joy. For the first time in his life, Kiro knew that he could honor his father, not by remembering his death, but by living, by building, by reaching the stars. The human ship was more than a machine. It was a dream, a promise, a second chance, and Kiro would make the most of it. He would not fail. Not this time, not ever again. And as the stars stretched out before them, Kiro whispered softly, almost to himself, "Thank you, Father. I will make you proud." Jaren glanced at him and smiled. The ship hummed, alive, powerful, endless. And so were the possibilities. Asterisk.